Hey guys, and welcome back to Mad About Skin. Today we are talking fails, but not just any old skincare fails, fails from my favourite brand of all time, The Ordinary. If you've ever watched one of my videos or subscribed to this channel, you know I'm full on fangirl when it comes to The Ordinary. I love their price point, their integrity, the fact they're cruelty free, and just their formulations are divine. I use so many of their products. However, I've always said on this channel, even the very best brands out there have fails within their collection. And I'm going to share with you today the ones that just did not work for me. I've excluded a couple which I think didn't work for me specifically, but I do know other people absolutely love, because I think all skincare is, unique to the individual, and I don't want to bash a company or a product that I know works really well for most other people, just didn't for me. But these are the products which I genuinely think need The Ordinary to have a look at, maybe do a bit of reformulation, maybe think about the purpose of them a little bit, and which I think until that happens you should probably avoid in your routine. Number one is a total surprise. This is a bit left field, but it's their foundations, or as they call them, their colours. So I tried a couple because there was a huge buzz around them when they first launched. If I don't wear foundation day to day, but I do look for a product, if I've got a big old zit going on, I like to look for a product that is going to work on my skin to give a medium level of coverage, but also be quite matte and not look too obvious. I just found with The Ordinary colours, none of them seemed to work. They were all they gave a very obvious look to them. They were either way too dewy or way too matte. There wasn't anything nice in between. And I found that they actually started to ball up, peel, and sort of flake off by about midday. I wondered whether that was just my skin type. Not all products, like I said, work for everybody. But I gave it away to a friend and said they had the exact same experience. Particularly around the nose and the mouth, it just started to break apart and wasn't that great. They've got a good, though not amazing, colour range and selection. And I just found it was really hard to find one that actually worked for me. I think some of that is because I was looking for a lighter coverage than these actually were able to offer, so that's not totally down to the brand, that's just personal preference. But a dupe, because in this video I'm going to shout out some dupes of some alternatives to some of these products. I would recommend this. This is the Hylamide Photography Foundation. Now this is called foundation, but actually I think it's more of a tint. How it goes on the skin is, if I can actually open it, because I'm not complaining. I like a good seal on a product because then it doesn't spill everywhere. But if you look at it, how it applies to the skin, it goes in with a very light. They do two versions. They do a light version and they do one for darker skin tones, which I like. And it goes onto the skin. It gives a very light coverage, and it's more of a colour corrector, I would say, than a foundation. I love this. If you want barely there coverage that just takes away the redness, takes away any of the light, blemishes that you might have, this will work wonderfully for you and is honestly a new holy grail. I only discovered it I think I got this in the sale when Hylamide had their 23% off sale, and I fell in love. Honestly, light coverage, colour correction, all-in-one product, leaves you hydrated. It doesn't pool on any areas of dryness that you might have and stick to it, making it look worse. So I love that about it. And it's just a really nice product that you can almost use as a primer under other types of makeup, or just as a way of finishing off your skincare routine to give you that gorgeous, even skin tone. Holy grail. But for me, The Ordinary foundation's just a pass. Coming on to their hydrators, I love a good facial oil. I discovered them in 2020 because before this I was thinking facial oils are just for people with dry skin, people like myself that are super oily, can't go near a facial oil. And The Ordinary really opened my eyes to the opportunities and the options that were out there. So I've tried pretty much all of them. Some work for my skin tone, some didn't work for my skin type. It's, like I say, skincare, personal preference. But one that I just do not think works, and I don't understand why anybody of whatever your skin type would reach for this, is the Sea Buckthorn Fruit Oil. It is so complicated. You have to use it at night, but it's really heavily coloured. It's a natural colour, but it leaves a really heavy colour on the skin. So you can't use it on a morning because you'll be walking around like that Oompa Loompa orange all day. So you have to use it at evening, but then it gets all over your sheets. So you wake up and whatever colour your pillowcase is, it's vivid orange in the morning. So who wants that? It's impossible to work into the skin. It's super greasy. Some of the results they say it'll give around, the hydration levels and helping to even out the skin tone, I'm all in favour of, but it's just way too much effort for the results you're actually going to get. So I give this a firm pass. I used it twice and I didn't even give it away. I hate waste, and normally I gift away things that don't work for my skin type. I just thought, I don't know who this would work for. Tossed it out, never to be seen again. I had to toss out my pillows as well, which I'm also devastated about because I love a gorgeous, comfy, 100% cotton pillow. throwing that out. So if you've spent money on a luxury like silk pillow, go nowhere near it with this product. I'd actually recommend, in lieu of that, I go for something like a rosehip seed oil, which I absolutely love. One of my holy grails. Works great for people with oily or blemish prone skin because it won't clog the pores. If you're a little bit on the drier side, you might want to go for a marula or a jojoba oil. So many choices. I'll leave a link to a video up there I did on my favourite facial oils by skin type, so you can pick the one for you. But never go near the sea buckthorn fruit oil. It's just a firm pass. Now, coming on to the retinols, I kind of want to throw the whole class of retinols in there, because whilst I initially really hated the retinols, they didn't sink in. The ones in Squalane just sat on the skin, it left me greasy, it didn't work. A lot of people said actually mix it in with a bit of moisturiser and it will go into the skin much more easily and you'll get that full strength retinol, but you won't have all of that oiliness and the greasiness associated with it. So I thought, let me try it, and actually it does really work. It's also quite nice to mix into your moisturizers to apply to the body, so you can give the body a little retinol love at the same time. So I'm all in favour of that, and it won me round. And then I looked back and thought, actually, I still think they're way too much work to justify using. And there's so many other great ones out there. If your budget will only stretch to the ordinary price point, I actually think you can make these work by adding them into your routine through, your moisturiser. So I'm not going to slam them too much because I do think there's a place for them in certain people's routines. But if you can stretch a little bit higher in terms of your price point, for the body, go for the Retinol by the Chemistry brand. Also another great Deciem brand. I love this oil. Unfortunately, it's not available in Canada, but everywhere else in the world you can get this, and it's a beautiful, hydrating, showing that body some retinol love. For the face, I'm fangirling hard at the moment over the Geek and Gorgeous A game. They do 2 strengths now. So previously I went for the 0.5, which was a mid-strength retinol. Now they do a 1%, which is a higher strength retinol. This is just a perfect dupe for the ordinary retinols in Squalane. It's still hydrating, but it sinks into the skin. It leaves no trace whatsoever. You can use it without risking it going all over your pillowcase in the evening, and I absolutely love it. I've left a link to all these dupes, by the way, in the description box below if you do want to check them out. Click those links, read some of the reviews, look at the ingredients, whatever, but they're all linked down below. So I would definitely switch up your ordinary retinols for something like the Inculus retinol, which is great, Indeed Labs retinol reface, fantastic, or my new absolute favourite, which is the Geek and Gorgeous A Game 1%. Now, segueing on to their sunscreens. This is a bit of a touchy subject because obviously we've had a few issues with sunscreens going on at the moment, which I'm not going to bore you with in this video. But whilst I just don't, I don't like the ordinary sunscreens. I find they're really heavy on the ashy white cast. I find them a little bit irritating to the skin. I don't know what it is about them. I just find that around the nose and the mouth, I tend to itch a little bit when I'm using them. They don't photograph well, and I just found them to be a little bit on the unpleasant side when it came to using them. A couple of people have defended them recently, saying, I get that, they're not the most elegant products to use, but they are tried and independently tested, so you know that you're getting the SPF that's advertised, which I'm all in favour of. I think that's fantastic, but I still just don't really like the texture. I do think we should start prioritising, the validity of the SPF claim over just pure elegance of the product, but there's going to be an element of enjoyment in there, people. Like, come on, we have to actually want to put the product on, and I just really didn't ever want to put this product on again after I'd used it a couple of times. Really not a fan of it. I'm actually trying out at the moment some really good Japanese sunscreens, so I've got a video coming up on my favourite Japanese SPFs. Some of them are really well tested, well formulated, and have that second level independent verification of their strength, which I love. My current is that this is actually a stock. I've got one on the go at the moment, and this is like a spare for when I run out. This is the Biore UV Water Essence. Love this product. The only thing I'll call out is actually some people do say with this it does contain alcohol. A lot of Korean, Asian, Japanese, other suns, do tend to have alcohols in them. That's because over in Asia it tends to be a more humid climate, not everywhere, but has a more humid climate than some other places, and having the alcohol helps it to dry quicker and just has a nicer ease of application to it. I don't find it drying at all on my skin, so I think that's fine. If you have super dry skin, I did just want to call that out because it might be something that you want to consider maybe giving a miss to if you have very dry skin. For everyone else, this is the new holy grail. I don't want to spoil any of my other recommendations that's coming in that video, but this fell in love with. Like I say, this is my backup because I've already got one on the go. This is a great dupe for that, the Ordinary. It doesn't have the antioxidants in that the Ordinary one does, but I'm not that sold on the Ordinary antioxidants in that product anyway. So just use your favourite antioxidant serum, then slap the BRA on the top and you are good to go. Now, coming in, I've left the most controversial to last, which is the vitamin C's. I think everybody has their own unique take on vitamin C. Some people like the pure form, full strength vitamin C. Some people like a derivative. Some people like to go for a high strength. You've got the low strength. You've got the ones in oil. You've got the ones in water. There's so much choice, and different people like different things. So I don't want to class the ones that I don't reach for as bad products because it might just be that other people prefer them over myself. However, there are a couple within the Ordinary that I just don't think are worth actually purchasing. The ascorbyl glucosides 12%. Not a fan. I'm not sure what the purpose of this product actually is. So the Ordinary are very clear on their website and say actually the proven, most people reach for a vitamin C for the luminosity and the brightness that it brings to the skin, and there is no proof behind this that it does deliver that. In fact, of all the vitamin C's, this is probably the one that's going to give the least brightening element, and so actually, is it worth it? If that's the thing that we're reaching for a vitamin C for, is that actually worth it? Probably not. There is some element of it will help to trigger collagen production, which will lead to firmness and a greater elasticity in the skin. We all love that. But I think there's other products like peptides that are better at delivering that. For me, this was just a firm pass. I understand why people reach for derivatives. I do myself. I did a whole video on vitamin C derivatives, so I'll leave a link to that up there. Check that out and choose one of the other ones, because I think the core reason we have a vitamin C in our lives is for that vibrancy, luminosity, and that just gorgeous glow from within that it gives us. So this is a firm pass, and I would definitely check out one of the others. My favourite is the ascorbyl tetroisopalmitate solution, which is a great high-strength vitamin C derivative, no sensitivity, maximum results. That's the one that I'd probably opt for, but check out that video and work out the one that works for you. There you have it, guys. A few fails. There's not that many. There's never going to be that many. I love the Ordinary, but I do think these are the products that you might want to give a second thought to before you purchase, and hopefully you give some of these dupes, both from within the Deciem line and also without. Some of the dupes do come from other companies. You'll give them a second look, because I definitely think they're worthy of a place in your skincare routine. Wherever you are in the world, guys, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care. Bye.